Welcome back to my channel. I'm Sherry Horner. Ladies, it's great to have you back. Today I was thinking about some of the amazing, remarkable people that I've interviewed over the years on my radio show and my other YouTube channel, and their stories and the impact that they had on other people. So today I want to encourage you to think about the story that you have. You may be thinking, well, I don't have much to share, or my story isn't, that great. It's just my life. So I just want to share a story with you about a woman I interviewed on my radio show, and her name was Brenda. And she had contacted me reluctantly because she called me. She said, I'm kind of embarrassed. I don't know if I should be calling you, but my uncle's hairdresser told him about your radio show and what you do, and she said, tell your niece to call her because her story he had shared with the hairdresser. Her story is amazing, and Sherry would definitely like to share that story. So I interviewed her. She was, I think, mid-40s, and she had been put into a medically induced coma. And when she woke up, the flesh-eating disease had taken both her legs and part of her fingertips of one hand. So this lady had such an amazing attitude. Of course, after the initial shock and recovery, she was able to get prosthetic legs, and she became a mentor for amputees. And a lot of times at the hospital, she would go meet with people that had recent amputations through accidents or whatever, and was able to counsel them and comfort them. She said that she would wear a long dress or pants, and they wouldn't even know that she was a double amputee until she told them. And so she went on to open a fitness center for women, and the same thing, like she would wear pants, and a lot of people wouldn't even know she was that she had prosthetic legs until possibly she was on a piece of equipment demonstrating how to use that piece of equipment, and they would notice if her pants leg came up. But she shared her story with me, and she said at first it was an adjustment, even for her children to see her with no legs. But she was determined that until she got her prosthetic legs in, she was going to keep her upper body strong. And she would literally crawl around the house and climb up on the couch with her arms, because she didn't want to just sit and deteriorate waiting for her prosthetic legs to come. So I know that's just the gist of the story, but it made an impact on me. It made an impact on her family and everyone listening to that story. I also shared it in one of my columns in magazines so people could read her story in print. So I want you to think about your life, and it could be a story from your childhood, from when you were a teenager. It could be a story that's going on right now that you are navigating through, that could be an inspiration to other people. Another story of a woman named Maria that I interviewed before. She was 45 when she started exercising, and she'd exercised before in her life, but at age 45 she was overweight and had no energy and no exercise at all. So she started exercising, and within 3 years she became a competitive bodybuilder, and she became a power lifter a competitive power lifter at the same time, which is really unique. So I don't know if you know the difference in the two. It's totally two different forms of training and discipline, and it's hard to do both. But she was able to master both. She went on to do multiple bodybuilding competitions, but then she continued on with powerlifting, and that was her true love, because she stuck with it, and she won awards she competed till well over 50, and she won awards for state championships and the highest levels you could win in that age category. So Sorry if I'm messing up this story, but the point is that age 45 was not too late to start. So she was inspired and motivated, and she did it, and she stuck with it. So think about something that maybe you have started either early in life and you're still doing it, you're still consistent. That could be your story. Or if you've just started something in the last few years and you're over 50 and you never thought you would be able to do that. I've always been involved in fitness as a fitness trainer and just a fitness enthusiast, but running was always a different animal. I could power walk for an hour, I could teach kickboxing classes all day, I had this energy to do those things, but running was a different animal. And I never thought I could do it. And I would want to run, but I wouldn't want anyone to see me. So this is another question for you. Do you ever do anything and you're like, well, I can't do that? I've had women tell me, you know, as their wellness coach, well, I don't want to run in my neighborhood. I don't want my neighbors to see me. And so with running being a different animal, I didn't start running until I was like 40 years old. And I wanted to run. I'm like, I want to run. You know, I want to start running before I'm 50. And I'm still running today. So, and I'm close to 60. So let me know if you have a story of something that you're starting now or you've started after you turn 50. And let me know what that story is, because your story can be inspiring to other people. So I want to encourage you to contact me if you have a story that you would like to share, and we can do a video interview and you can share your story. I think it would be great to be able to bless other people with inspiration. And you know, like I said before, sometimes you may think, well, my story's not that great. But Brenda thought that when she was hesitant about contacting me about her story, and wow, her story was amazing and inspired and helped so many people. And so your story can inspire a lot of people. So please contact me with that story if you know anyone. If you have a friend that's over 50 and she retired and wrote a book or started a business, and her story has inspired you, have her contact me, because I would love to share her story as well. And a lot of times people will plant seeds in us, or thoughts. There you go, thoughts is the word. And has anybody ever told you, like, wow, you're really good at writing, or you're really good at decorating or putting together bouquets of flowers, or you're really good at organizing parties and events? Has anybody ever told you that and you just kind of brushed it off like, oh, well, I just planned this one event, you know, it was a party for my parents or something, and I don't really do that. Has anybody ever planted a seed in you like that and you brushed it off and didn't do anything with it? Or did you do something with it? Did you say, well, let me see if I can find out and learn more about this and try to do it for another friend? And then that passion became greater and the practicing of the skill became better. You became more polished at it, and then now you have a business of decorating, or floral bouquets, or cake decorating, or teaching people how to write. You know, maybe that was your passion years ago and you put it on the shelf and haven't done anything with it since, but now you've retired and you have that ignited again. So something ignited that, and you're able to help people learn how to write their novel and inspire others in that way. And once again, I just want to encourage you to tell your story. So today, if you have time, after you watch this video, sit down and write down a story about some time in your life, some situation. Just write it out as if you were telling a friend about it. And we've all done that. We've all told stories about things we've gone through, good and bad, things that can help others. And you know, that's what it's all about, is helping others, because sometimes you may go through something that's good or bad, and share it with a friend, and that either inspires them to move forward in doing something that they're passionate about. Or sometimes if things didn't go so well, you're able to alert them and say, well, you know, this could happen, and kind of get them heads up on what could be some roadblocks or bumps in the road. But again, everybody has a story, and another story is just something that will help others, and I want to encourage you to tell your story, but write it down today, so then that will help you bring back those memories of, wow, yeah, I did do that, I did accomplish that, and I could talk about that situation, and it could help so many more people. I've come across a lot of women through being a fitness trainer, radio talk show host, my columns in the magazines, and as a wellness coach, and I've been told a million stories. Now, some of them I can't repeat. Some of them are a little too private. But the stories that I can repeat are just remarkable and can help so many more people. There is so many amazing people out there. So if you have a remarkable health recovery story that could inspire people, if you have a amazing weight loss success story, I would love to hear about that. If you started exercise later in life and started running marathons, any of those stories are so inspirational to be told to others, because it's amazing what one little seed will do. And then, or writing a book. Maybe someone didn't plant that seed in you, but you read a book that inspired you and motivated you. So imagine if you read a book, and from that one book, you decided to write your own book, or you decided to start painting or create something, and that became what you're passionate about today. So if you have written a book or wrote a book, and let me know that story too, if you wrote a book and it triggered something in you. So I read a book, and running I was inspired by that. So if you have done that, please share with your story with me. I would love to hear it. And I just want to say thanks for coming back, and I appreciate it if you would subscribe and like this video, and I appreciate you joining our community. And as always, try something new, start where you're at with what you have. Okay, I'll catch you on the next one.